I want to welcome Brian Moulton, Chief Legislative Counsel for the Human Rights Campaign. Brian, so glad to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I do get the chills when I hear President Obama say that, saying we're all in it together. He believes in equality. What stood out to you tonight the most? There's probably a lot of things that did.
Sure, it was an amazing speech. I think the fact that he was able to talk about the success of Don't Ask, Don't Tell with openly gay and lesbian service members right there in the room, in uniform, being able to stand up and applaud their commander-in-chief. I thought that was really powerful. And also, he spoke about him and the First Lady standing up as examples for LGBT youth that are struggling with whether or not there's a real future for them, and that the president stands with them. And I thought, thinking back to my teenage years, how amazing it would have been to hear that from a sitting president.
It is, Brian, but there's still criticism out there because the president did not say, yes, I'm for gay marriage. And so would this drive away gay and lesbian voters? What do you think?
Well, the president has, said he's evolving on marriage, and we all would like him to evolve faster. Certainly, it would be a powerful thing for the president to support marriage, forthrightly. But it doesn't take away from the amazing accomplishments that we've seen in this presidency on hate crimes protections, on Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal, on hospital visitation protections, so many things. And also the really strong commitment you heard from him tonight to keep pushing forward, to push for repealing the Federal Defense of Marriage Act, to push for employment protections, the many things that our community still needs.
Right, so the Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal, that's one thing. But to go a step forward, what do you think's preventing that?
Well, I think that, he's continuing to consider the issue the way that a lot of Americans are. A lot of our work is having those conversations. And I just think, hopefully, although, I can't look into my crystal ball, but hopefully soon that he will be there on the marriage issue as well.
Do you think Barack Obama has done more for gay rights than any other president in history? I'm guessing your answer is yes.
Absolutely. I think the record is incredibly strong, and he really, mentioned a lot of it in tonight's speech, and we've seen so much progress in the last 2.5 years.
And what was the reaction to the speech tonight? I know you say that you felt really positive about it, and so did I in the excerpts that we did hear. What was the reaction overall in the room?
The room was, on their feet for most of the speech. It was tremendously well received by our members.
And why do you think that? Do you think it is the Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal? What stuck out to me was when he said, when that service member was booed, and the people running for president, the Republicans especially, didn't step in and say something sooner. And he said, look, if you want to be the leader of this country, you have to stand up and say something. These people are fighting for our country.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that is a really stark example of the kind of advocate he is for our community, in comparison to all the folks on those stages at those Republican debates who, as he said, stood silently by while, people booed a service member in a theater of war in Iraq, simply because he mentioned that he's a gay service member.
Right. It's almost like at the debate, no one wanted to step in. It was kind of like a pause feeling. Brian Moulton, thanks so much for your feedback on tonight's speech. We sure do appreciate it. Nice meeting you. Thanks.